Everyone, welcome you all for the sixth session on module 1, which is vector calculus. So in the last session we have seen about the vector integration. So here in this session we shall look at the integral theorems. One of the integral theorem which we are going to discuss now is Green's theorem. So what is this Green's theorem is? The statement is, if R is a closed region of xy plane bounded by a simple closed curve C, and if M and N are two continuous functions of x and y having the continuous first order partial derivatives in the region R, then integral over C m into dx plus n into dy is equal to double integral over R dou n by dou x minus dou m by dou y into dx. So here the things that you need to remember is in a region x and y plane only it has been defined. It can be in a two-dimensional geometry, and m and n are the two continuous functions which are the functions of x and y has been considered, and then the first order derivative exists for m and n such that dou m by dou y and dou n by dou x are used in this form. That is a Green's theorem. So you can remember integral over C m into dx plus n into dy is equal to double integral over R dou n by dou x minus dou m by dou y into dx dy. So the advantage of Green's theorem is, you can see this was a line integral and it is getting converted to the double integral, that is surface integral. So with the examples, let us observe. Find the area of an asteroid. X is equal to a cos cube theta and y is equal to a sin cube theta by employing the Green's theorem. So we have to find the area of an asteroid. Asteroid is it's a curve of this form as shown in the graph, and by employing the Green's theorem we have to find the area of which. So when we look at the graph, the curve is symmetric on coordinate system in the xy plane. So instead of evaluating over the all the four coordinate system, what we can do is we can consider only the first coordinate, that is only in this part. Since it is similar to the remaining things, so we can multiply that with the 4. So let us find the area only in the first quadrant, and if we multiply that by 4, it gives the area for the entire curve. So the total area is equal to 4 times of area in the first quadrant. So how do we find the area in the first quadrant? So again, that is a result of a Green's theorem. When dou n by dou y and dou n by dou x and dou m by dou y is equal to half, both are is equal to half, then you will get this result, half into integral over c x into dy minus y into dx. So this half into integral over c x into dy minus y into dx is a formula which is derived from the Green's theorem, and this is nothing but the area. So here 4 is multiplied because we are considering only the first quadrant curve, and the remaining quadrant can be obtained by multiplying it with the 4. Therefore a is equal to 4 into half integral over c x into dy minus y into dx. So now it is given in the problem that x is equal to a cos cube theta and y is equal to a sin cube theta. So dx and dy need to be evaluated accordingly. So here a is equal to 2 into integral 0 to pi by 2. Since we have considered only the first quadrant, theta varies from 0 to pi by 2. So x is a cos cube theta and dy is differentiation of y, which gives us 3a sin square theta into cos theta, minus y into dx. So y is a sin cube theta and dx is differentiation of which 3a into cos square theta into sin theta. The entire thing is multiplied to d theta. Since we are integrating with respect to theta, the limits of theta only has been put. In the first quadrant, theta varies from 0 to pi by 2. So now simplifying this, 6a into 3a into a, and again here 3a into a. So when we look at this, it is cos cube into sin square, and sin cube into cos square into sin theta. So what we can do is, so here from both the terms we can take out sin square theta into cos square theta as a common term. Sin square theta into cos square theta as a common term. So we get there is already 2 and 3 has been taken it outside from both the terms and it has become 6. A square has also been taken outside. So sin square theta and cos square theta, if we take it out, we have here cos theta, here we have sin square theta So cos theta into cos to the power of cos theta into cos cube theta is cos to the power of 4, and cos square has been taken it outside, and sin square also has been taken it outside. From this term we have cos square theta. From this term, minus and minus, it is plus. Sin cube theta into sin theta is sin to the power of 4. Sin square and cos square has been taken it outside. From this term we have sin square theta. So we know that sin square theta into plus cos square theta is 1. So this value is going to be 1. The remaining is sin square theta into cos square theta d theta. So now how do we evaluate? This formula, integral 0 to pi by 2 sin square theta into cos square theta d theta, must be evaluated by using the reduction formula, which is of the form integral 0 to pi by 2 sin to the power of m into sin to the power of m theta into cos to the power of n theta d theta. So now by using that result, we know that in a reduction formula of which gives us m into n minus 1 divided by m plus n, n minus 2 by m plus n minus 2. Similarly, n minus 1 divided by m plus n and m plus n minus 2. Using that reduction formula, we have 6a square into 1 by 4 into 1 by 2 into, since both the powers are even, we need to multiply with pi by 2. That is as per the reduction formula. Hope you had come across in your first semester syllabus. So when we simplify this, we get 3 pi a square by 8 square units. The area of the given asteroid is going to be 3 pi a square by 8 square units. So let us see another example. Evaluate integral over c xy minus x square into dx plus x square into dy, where c is the closed curve formed by y is equal to 0, x is equal to 1 and y is equal to x. So this we have to perform in two stages. One by direct integration and the second one by using the Green's theorem. So this problem especially tells us how Green's theorem is advantageous over the direct integration. So consider the given curve. So here it is in the form of m into dx plus n into dy. So m is xy minus x square and n is x square into y. And the curve is given by, it is in curve, it is closed by y is equal to 0. Y is equal to 0 is nothing but your x-axis. And x is equal to 1, which is a line which is parallel to y-axis at a distance 1. So x is equal to 1 is this line. And y is equal to x is a straight line which passes through the origin, which has a slope 1. So let us draw this graph in this form and name the corners. This corner we can name it as O with the coordinates 0, 0. And this is another point, another corner, we name it as A, and whose coordinates x is equal to 1 and y is equal to 0 here. And another corner is B, which has a coordinate x is equal to 1 and y is equal to 1. So now we need to have a simple closed curve. So we need to mark the directions. So we will start the curve from origin. It will move towards A in this direction and it moves up towards B in this direction, and from B it will come back to O in the direction. So therefore the beginning point and the end point for a curve is same, therefore it is a closed curve. Therefore integral over C can be written as m into dx plus n into dy. So since it is not a smooth curve, we have to divide this given curve into three parts. One is OA and the other one is AB and the other one is BO. So integral over OA, m into dx plus n into dy. Similarly, integral over AB, m dx plus n dy, and integral over BO, m dx plus n dy. So let us call this as equation 1 and keep it aside. So now let us observe the graph along OA. So look at the first one along OA. So OA is our x-axis. If you remember, OA is our x-axis. This is O and this is A, and this is how the curve was. This is point B. So this is what the direction we have taken. So along OA, that is an x-axis. The equation of an x-axis is y is equal to 0. So if y is equal to 0, on differentiating, dy will be equal to 0. So OA is your horizontal axis. That is an x-axis. There is a possibility for only x to vary in a horizontal direction, and which varies from 0 to 1. The point O has a coordinate 0, 0, and this point has a coordinate 1, 0. If you observe the x coordinates at both the points, it is 0 to 1. So we will write limit for x as 0 to 1. Similarly, along AB, so A to B, imagine your Observe this graph. So in this graph AB we are going to consider in the AB it is A to B. So A to B, A is having the coordinate 1 comma 0 and B is having the coordinate 1 comma 1. So if you observe, since it is a vertical line, A to B is a vertical line, we will write the limits for y from 0 to 1. So y varies from 0 to 1, and equation of a line x is equal to A to B is x is equal to 1. So because it is a line parallel to y axis at a distance 1. So x is equal to 1, and on differentiating we get dx is equal to 0 and y varies from the limits 0 to 1. Similarly, B to O, this is an your curve B to O. B is having the coordinate 1 comma 1 and O is having the coordinate 0 comma 0. Since it is in the downward direction, B to O, either you can write x varies or you can also write the limits for y. But any one we can consider. So we are going to substitute y is equal to x in the integral, dy is equal to dx, and since we are converting everything in terms of x, we have to write the limits for x, and the direction is from B to O. So B is having the x coordinate as 1 and x coordinate at O is 0. So limits are from 1 to 0. So therefore integral over m into dx plus n into dy, which we have split it up, we are going to substitute. Along OA, x limits are x is equal to 0 to 1, x is equal to 0 to 1, and in the integrand we are going to substitute y is equal to 0 and dy is equal to 0, and once we make a substitution we left with only the term minus x square into dx. Similarly, the second integral is along AB when x is equal to 1 and dx is equal to 0 and y varies from the limits 0 to 1. And after substituting x is equal to 1 and dx is equal to 0, we left out with the term y into dy. And from the last integral along BO, y is equal to x. We are converting everything in terms of x, and dy is going to be replaced by dx, and the x limits are from 1 to 0. So now let us integrate it. Integration of x square is x cube by 3. Integration of y is y square by 2. And integration of x cube is x to the power of 4 by 4 between the limits 0 and 1, 0 and 1, and 0 and 1. So here it is 1 and 0. So this is 1 and 2, 1 to 0. So on substituting the limits and simplifying, we get the answer as minus 1 by 12. So integral over C, xy minus x square into dx plus x square into y dy is going to be minus 1 by 12. So this is how we can integrate the given integral by the direct integration method. So now let us work out the same problem by using Green's theorem. So by using the Green's theorem, we know integral over C m into dx plus n into dy is double integral over r dou n by dou x minus dou m by dou y. So we know what is dou n. N and differentiation of m partially with respect to x gives us 2xy. And differentiation of m partially with respect to y gives us only minus x. Dx dy is as it is. From the given region, we will get the limits for x is equal to 0 to 1 and y is also equal to 0 to 1. 2xy minus x into dx dy. So now we know the limits for x and y is x is equal to 0 to 1 and y is varies from 0 to 1. And this is an integral. From the diagram only we are getting the limits. So now let us integrate. Integration of 2xy with respect to y. First we are integrating with respect to y. So 2x is as it is. Integration of y is y square by 2. 2 and 2 gets cancelled. So only we have xy square. And integration of x with respect to x is y is xy. So between the limits y is varies from 0 to 1. So y varies from 0 to 1 are the limits. And when we into dx is as it is. This dx is also there as it is. Which is equal to, on substituting the limit, when x is equal to 1, when y is equal to 1, we are substituting the limit for y is equal to 1, we get 1, it is x into, this is y limits are from 0 to x, So y limits are from 0 to x, and so we have y is varies from 0 to x, y is equal to x. If you substitute x square into x, it is x cube, and again here we have y is equal to x, so it is x square into dx. So let us integrate it. Integration of x cube is x to the power of 4 and integration of x square is x cube by 3. between the limits 0 and 1. So once we make a substitution, we get the answer as minus 1 by 12. So you can observe in both the cases the answer is same, whereas the methods are different. So by using the Green's theorem, we could get the complete answer within 3 to 4 steps, whereas direct integration has taken little bit time. So that is the advantage of having the Green's theorem over a direct integration method. So let us see another example. Using Green's theorem, find the area between the parabolas x square is equal to 4y and y square is equal to 4x. So x square is equal to 4y is a parabola which is symmetric on positive y-axis. This is what is our curve. This we can take it as C1. This is a curve where we have taken it as C1 and direction is this. And the second one is y square is equal to 4x. It is a parabola which is symmetric on positive x-axis. This is what is the curve, and we have taken that as curve C2. And we will observe both the curves have intersected at this point, and the region of integration is this, the shaded part. So from the region of origin O to this point, the direction, it should be a simple closed curve. Start at this point, go in this direction and come back in this direction, so that the region of integration becomes a closed curve. So now the origin coordinates are 0, 0 and the coordinates of this point is 4, 4. So how do we know that? So we have x square is equal to 4y and y square is equal to 4x. So we can write x square is equal to 4y, and here from this expansion, from this we will write it as x square is equal to 4y, and from this expansion we can write x is equal to y square by 4. So let us square this, so it becomes x square is equal to y to the power of 4 by 16. So now this is also x square, this is also x square, so we can equate both the terms. So we get 4y is equal to y to the power of 4 by 16. 4y is equal to y to the power of 4 by 16. So cross multiplying it, we get 64y is equal to y to the power of 4. So we can simplify this 64. Yeah, so 64. We can take out y, 1y can be cancelled. So 64 is equal to y cube, and simplifying we get y is equal to 4. So that is for y. So substitute y is equal to 4 in any one of the equation, either in the first curve or in the second curve, so that we will get the value of x also as 4, 4. So the point of intersection of x square is equal to 4y and y square is equal to 4x are 0, 0 and 4, 4. So we need to find the area. So area is we know double integral over dx, which is equal to half into integral of x dy minus y dx. So that is by Green's theorem we know the area is going to be that. So now let us substitute along the curve C1, x square is equal to 4y, dy is equal to x by 2 into dx, and x varies from 0 to 4, and along the second curve also y varies from 4 to 0, so that is in the reverse direction. Therefore, when we integrate, a is equal to integral half into integral over C1 x dy minus y dx, and half into integral over C2 x dy minus y dx. So on integrating it, substituting, so dy is equal to x by 2. From here, dy is equal to x by 2 into dx, and y dx. So y is equal to x square by 4. So from here, y is equal to x square by 4. We have substituted it. Similarly, here also everything we are converting in terms of y. So x into dy. So x is equal to y square by 4, and dy we can take it outside, and y into dx. Dx is nothing but y by 2 into dy. So that is what we have substituted. And next is x into x is x square by 2 minus x square by 4, and here we get y square by 4 into y square by 2. So now we can proceed for integrating it. So on integration we get so on simplifying it, we get integral over x to the power x to is equal to 0 to 4 x square by 4 minus half into, so on simplifying we get minus y square by 4. So now integration of x square is x cube by 3, and integration of y square is y cube by 3. So substituting the limits and simplifying, we get answer is equal to 16 by 3. The required area is 16 by 3 square units. So this is how we have to work out the problems of finding the area by using Green's theorem. Thank you all.